We're Stokes and Dreams, and we're off on an adventure to Woburn Center Parcs. We've been to Center Parcs quite a few times now, and we thought we'd bring you along for the ride. So, you find us here on our travel day, as we've got off the motorway and we're travelling towards Center Parcs. We haven't travelled from home this time. We've travelled from Mumbles in Wales, where we were spending the weekend with my husband's side of the family, and we're joining my side of the family who have already been at Center Parcs since yesterday, the day before. So we're starting the holiday a day after they are. We've booked 7 nights, which is Monday to Monday. We're arriving on the Tuesday and we will be leaving on the Sunday evening. This is the first time we've checked in late, so we weren't sure what to expect, but actually it was really simple, really easy. So as normal, you obviously drive into the park, you drive down the entrance, and then you arrive at the check-in chalet, where they check your lodge, give you your wristband, which is also your door key, and your locker key to the pool. They give you a map and direct you on how to get to your lodge. They do let you through the security gate so that you can drive your car up to the lodge, or they did us, so that we could unload and then we drove the car straight back to the car park. So it was really, really easy, and they were really, really nice checking us in, so that was great. We have some wedding anniversaries which we are celebrating, so I'd requested that we got the message for Nana and Grandad written by Center Parcs, which they did, and then Nana and Grandad decorated our room. We decided that we wanted to book a spa session, so we booked a 3-hour spa session at the Aquasana for, I think it was about 4 o'clock on the day that we arrived. So we dropped everything off at the lodge, took the car back, and then went straight from the car park down to the Aquasana. So this is the entrance where you come through to go to the hotel as well. So you come in through the entrance, through that foyer, that's the hotel foyer, and then you come to those doors, and then you've got like a landing with a lift to go down, or you can use the stairs. So that is also, there is entrance there to the hotel rooms, and then the Aquasana, the entrance to the Aquasana is down the 2 floors, and then that brings you down to this entrance, this foyer here, and to the left there's a door into the plaza, and to the right that's the entrance. After our spa, we then popped into the sports cafe, and we just had a drink before we went back to the lodge. But here you can see there's like pool tables, there's a soft play, there's also some bowling lanes, and there's an arcade as well. This is the outside of our lodge. So we had 2 lodges. We had a 2-bedroom and a 3-bedroom lodge, and this is the 2-bedroom lodge. So we've got tables and chairs for 4, a barbecue, and we've got a little bit of space outside. And before I booked, because we did choose, we paid the extra to choose the 2 lodges, before I booked I looked at the space outside, and I compared on the map, on the Center Parcs map, and on Google as well, the map on Google, so that we could just see whether it was a bit more private or whether it was a bit more open. So I could see there that with the buildings that the patio area was kind of like between the 2 building ends, so that we were less likely to be overlooked. So I always enjoy a cup of tea and a bit of a book read outside, and you can hear the birds and watch the wildlife. And depending on when you go, you get quite a bit of wildlife. You get the usual, the birds, the squirrels, and actually this time round we saw some muntjac deer that came right up to the lodge. That's the first time that's happened for us. To try and encourage the wildlife, we do put out some wildlife seed, and actually we got one of those see-through window bird feeders, so we put that on the window and put some wildlife seed down, and it attracted some different types of birds, some of the smaller birds as well, and it attracted squirrels and this little muntjac deer as well. It came right up and took the seed out of the bird feeder. We all did some pottery painting. So I painted a mug, and I got the nephew and the nieces to give me a hand, and I used that for work. And Nana and Grandad each did, I think Nana did a cat, Grandad did a hedgehog, and the nephew did a dinosaur, and the nieces did, I think one was a cupcake, like trinket box, and then another was a mermaid. So they got to paint those. We painted them. There's lots of different paints, some with different textures. So you book a slot, you book a table, and then you choose what item you would like to decorate, and then you pay for the items, and then you have I think it was about an hour and a half to decorate your item. Then you can get one of these wheels that helps you turn things around. That was quite fun. You can see there in the background that there's lots and lots of paints to choose from, so that's great. The children did these patterns, which I used as like the base. So I'd painted it white, then the children and I did these patterns together, and then I've done some final touches, added some bits here, painted on the inside, and got it ready then to hand over. So once you've finished decorating your pottery piece, you hand it over to the staff, and it's glazed with a clear glaze, and then it's fired. Once it's been fired overnight, you can go and collect it the following day. It's got your lodge number written on the bottom, so you just go in and ask for your lodge number, and they show you the pieces, and then you can get them bagged up and take them away. It was a really nice session to get a bit creative and to create a bit of a keepsake as well, really. It was a really nice session, and I would recommend, particularly if you want a bit of a keepsake from your trip away. So the children completed theirs, then they were ready to go off and do something else. So it was handy being able to do a bit of divide and conquering a little bit. So myself, Nana and Grandad carried on and completed our pieces, and like help tidy away their pieces and put them up ready, and then Mum, Dad and Uncle went with the children to do something with them. I think they went and booked some activities and went to go and look at some other bits and pieces. They did pop back to see if we were finished, and to check that their pieces had been put away, so we'd done that for them. So this is the finished piece. I put a little saying there on the front, and then put our names on the back, and this one is the nephew's dinosaur. Everybody enjoyed making their pieces, and it was a really nice session. We had a barbecue back at the lodge. I think this was an evening meal. So Center Parcs have these brick barbecue stands for you to put the disposable barbecues on, and we used to use those, and then we'd find that the coal wouldn't last as long as we wanted it to, so we'd either add coal to it. But then we came across this barbecue in Go Outdoors, and it folds down and goes into a little carry case, so you throw away the coal. I mean, like the ash once you've finished into the ash bins, and then you just reuse it, so it's a bit better on the environment, not so much throwing away and disposable. And we cooked burgers, sausages, the usual things that you put on a barbecue, and there was even some residual heat in the embers left to do some marshmallows. So everybody toasted some marshmallows and put them between some chocolate biscuits to make some s'mores, and they were thoroughly enjoyed. Being back at the lodge meant that we were able to spot some more wildlife, and that's quail there, just in the long grass and the hedgerow. And we topped up the bird feeder, and the little muntjac deer came back to see us and actually came up and ate. I think he had all that seed that's in there. So that was quite nice for everybody to see, and the children really enjoyed being quite so up close with that little deer. It's fantastic. Well, we had all the bread there, didn't we? The following morning, I cycled down to the park market to go and get some breakfast items. It's one of the things I like about being on holiday, really, is popping down to a little local shop and getting some bits and pieces for breakfast or for lunch. And I think that was one of the things we did on holiday when we were kids, is our parents would send us to either the campsite shop or the park market on our bikes, or down to the chippy, off to go and get a few items. And I remember coming back with baguettes in our backpacks for Center Parcs. So I decided that I wanted to have a little walk around the nature centre, go and see what that was like. So this is one of the loops that you can walk. There are two. You can walk them all together, so it makes one big one, or you can walk this one. So there's a little photo opportunity for you there. There's lots of different habitats for you to stop and look at along the way. The path is mulched there in wood chip, and it's obviously lined there with logs and things, so quite natural. And then as you're going around, you come across different things. We're coming up to a bug house here. I think you could spend a little bit of time here exploring the different habitats. So the bug house there has got obviously different environments for bugs to live, and you could go down with a bug finder sheet. You could get one off the internet before you went, or just go and have a look. And there's lots of places like that. So there's piles of logs. They're great for bug habitat and things. And you can hear the birds and the wildlife. And then there's also got these like little quiz questions, so you can answer a question. There's also another photo opportunity there. So it's quite nice gentle walk round. There were some joggers there when I was there in the morning. I imagine it's quite a nice loop to go and jog round. There's a picnic site, some benches, so you can take a little packed lunch down there. And then we're coming up to a little bird hide, so you can go and sit in front of there. So this is a bit different to the one at Sherwood. Sherwood, it is like a hut, whereas this is more of a screen. But you can go and sit under there. That's the picnic centre site there. You can go and sit under there, and then through those slots you can see through into an area where they've got some bird feed. There's also a little brook, a little stream running through as well. So I imagine you get all sorts of different kinds of animals if you sit there nice and quietly. I think I saw there were some birds coming and going to the feeders. Squirrels, they were definitely trying to hack into those feeders and scampering across. But another opportunity to just spot some wildlife. And then around the bird hide were different types of birds that I imagine you might be able to spot there, so you can identify the birds that you spot using that, so that's really great. You could get a good hour and a half, 2 hours out of this, I think, depending on how you used your time there. You could go over lunchtime, take a picnic down there, go and have a look in the bird hide, see what you can spot there, walk round the path. You can do some tree identification, some plant identification, or you can just simply go for an after lunch stroll round the pathways. So this path leads on, and then you come to a boardwalk as it gets a bit more boggy, so you're walking above the bog, and obviously that's another great habitat for seeing different kinds of wildlife and vegetation, all the flora and fauna, opportunities to spot more plants, trees. I just enjoy doing these walks and just being immersed in nature, and a bit of nature connection there. Morning. We're coming to the end of the loop now. So a bit further up this path there's a cross section, and then to the right you go back up to the entrance of the nature centre straight on. That's the second loop. I've turned left, and then there's just a very short path down to the pond jetty, which I assume they are updating just at the moment. That may well have changed now, because obviously we went a couple of months ago. Little duck there having a little perch. So yeah, that was a nice little walk round. Here we are. We booked a session on one of these electric boats, something that my hubby had wanted to do the last few times, and it was either iced over or we just weren't able to fit it in with our plans. So myself, Nana, the other half and the kids went on a boat. So it's a 6-person boat. I think we hired it for about half an hour, which, to be fair, was plenty long enough. We managed to circumnavigate the pond, I think 3 times in total. We came across some dragonflies or damselflies there. That was great spotting. We went past Mummy, Daddy and Grandad on the side a few times and waved to them. The children each had a go at driving, and yeah, so that was a really nice little bit of a session to be on a boat. And I think we said that we fancied doing one of the cat canoes next time, so watch this space. Yeah. Whilst we were down by the lake area, the lake and beach area, we thought we'd go to the Pancake House for lunch. I think that was a walk-in, I don't think we booked that one. It was really quiet in there. We each had pancakes. You can get pancakes or omelettes on the menu, and then a variety of drinks. And some of us had omelettes with toppings, and some of us had pancakes with toppings. You can get savoury pancakes, and you can also get sweet pancakes. I think that's a Mexican one there. We shared some nachos. Nana there with the omelette. I think the kids had pancake stacks, like American style. They've opened this like new area with different games. So we played a game of shuffleboard. They've also got another mini golf, and they've got like darts as well. So we hired this. I think this was like a 25-minute session. We hired it just for the two of us. You can hire it for more. And then we did just take it in turns, because we didn't know what shuffleboard was, but it was so fun. So you have to scoot down those little pucks to the other end and try and score. There's lines on there, so try and score on there, and then it keeps score for you. The kids absolutely loved it. So did we. We actually said we'd try and go and book again, but we didn't get round to it. So that's definitely one we will do again.
It's good.
It does smell good, doesn't it?
Do we have a pizza together?
I think.
We finished the day yesterday with a very yummy pizza from the restaurant runner. That was really nice. We shared that between everybody. So here we are in the sports plaza. So you've got the sports cafe there to the left, and then you've got like the sports centre. There's the pottery space. There's children activity dens there as well. There's the fitness centre at the end, climbing walls in the middle, and lots of badminton and tennis courts for lots of different activities. And I think that area with the boundary on, I think that's for the roller skating. So here we are. We've booked those squash courts. So we've booked them for I think it's virtual squash. The children have already had a go at this, so we booked it again so that we could all take part, and it is brilliant. It keeps everybody active. You get a bag of balls, and then obviously you get games on the squash wall, and you've got to throw the balls up at the wall. This was a bit like a Connect 4 game. I will say though, because the wall is so big, you definitely need a mix of throwers in order to get the best out of it. The younger ones really struggled to hit things that were higher up, like in the middle and above on the wall, and they would try, and we would need to throw it up to get them. So there's lots of different games. This is a monster bashing game, and then there's football games, there's fish games. It was really fun. The kids thoroughly enjoyed this, and I think we played it a total of 3 times while we were there over the week. It was really great. We went on a few different bike rides while we were there, and saw lots of these little butterfly on a post. We had hooks in the lodge, so we had it delivered. We've had burgers and fajitas, and I think the kids had nuggets. And we always enjoy hooks. This is the entrance to the plaza where the sports hall is, the sports cafe. There's some shops on the left. You've got Jules as you come in. you've got refresh, which is ice creams and donuts and things. We did some bear making, so this is a bit like the bear factory. You choose a bear, then you get to stuff your bear, you put a little heart in your bear, you give it a name, it has its date of birth written down on a certificate, you get a little bag to put it in and take it away. Both the girls really enjoyed doing this. Okay, you're going to put some more in?
Oh, that's a bit big. That's a bit big. Try that one.
I'm alright, thank you, Tom. The girls weren't tall enough for climbing, so it was a bit of a divide and conquer situation. So the girls did the bear making, while our nephew did climbing. So these are climbing structures, and there's all different types of faces on the walls. So you've got some of the usual handholds, and then you've got other more exciting things. There's a castle one, these hexagon ones. Oh, a big variety. The arcade has got a variety of games. You swap your coins out for tokens, and then you play your tokens for each game. Each game's got a different amount of tokens it takes for you to be able to play it. We had a game of air hockey to begin with, and then we went and played on a few other things. I think we did that a bit later on, but yeah, a bit of a fun activity to do. This is the park market, so it's a little shop on site. We usually use this a fair bit. We usually bring stuff from home and then top up throughout our time from here. So if we're away for the weekend, we might bring everything or most things from home and just top up bits and pieces. If we're here for a bit longer, we'll bring some stuff and then add to it. But it has everything that you need. There's fruits, veggies, meats, milk, tinned. It's got some free fun stuff, veggie stuff, lots and lots of different things, crisps, snacks. It's got home goods, if you need sauces, if you need to top up on loo roll, kitchen roll, and then it's got things like nappies and other baby items. It's got some like first aid stuff, medical stuff. It's got a frozen section, and it's also got a drink section, alcohol, non-alcoholic drink section, and like a little news agent section, so you can get your newspapers or magazines, a few books and things. So it's got all of your essentials if you need them. This was our last day there, so we went down to the beach, and the children, we took some spades down, and the children did some digging, buried each other, dug some holes, made some castles and things. There's a that's by the lake. Obviously you can't go swimming in the lake or paddling in the lake, but you can play on the beach. You can go and get some water in your bucket to dampen the sand down if you want to. But the children just thoroughly enjoyed playing there on the beach. I think we left them and went for a walk across the other side of the lake. There's like a little path round the area, some seating, and then we had a massage booked at Aquasana. We both had massages booked, so we went and did those. They weren't booked together, they were booked one after the other, so we hung out in the sports cafe but while we were waiting for the other one. I think I read my book, and then the kids, mum, dad, nana and granddad went for lunch at the Pancake House again. And this is the final mug. And that's the end of our first video. Thank you for watching, thank you for getting to the end. Hopefully we'll have some more. See you soon.